Yo, what is up, dudes? So today I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Donner Hush silent guitar. Now, I did a video on this. I did an unboxing, and I did a bunch of play examples so you can hear the sound of it. Today, I just wanted to compare the size of it, which is something I didn't do in the first video. Just to point out, to accentuate, to give you a good comparison of the travel ability of the travel guitar versus just the sound of it and the stuff that it comes with. So as you know, it does come with a tuner, and it comes with, headphones, and a bunch of stuff like that, which, these other acoustics probably come with a strap, but that's about the only really the same item, the only really crossover between this and other brands. You don't really get headphones. You might get a tuner. Tune is possible. So just to compare this, I'm going to grab the carbon fiber guitar, and let's throw that up here and we can compare the size. All right, so this is the Donner carbon fiber guitar, wonderful guitar. Check out my video on the Donner carbon fiber guitar. I believe this is my smallest acoustic, other than the Hush one silent guitar. But just comparing these two, you can see the big difference in the case. An enormous difference, like 3 times the size to go to the carbon fiber versus the silent guitar. So just to put it in perspective, and this is my smallest one by far, is this carbon fiber. Let me get my next smallest guitar, my Parlor guitar, and we can just compare that to the Hush one. All right, this is my next smallest guitar. This is a Framus Parlor guitar. A pretty small guitar, but again, compared to the Hush guitar, I mean, it's not even close. It is a massive difference between these two guitars in terms of portability, having to lug around a gig bag of this size versus a little travel bag, of this size. And because this is an acoustic and that's an electric, they're about the same weight. This might be a little bit heavier. Yeah, that's actually pretty light. Actually, yeah, that's probably a little bit heavier, without a doubt. But you can just see the difference in what you've got to lug around. Parlor guitar. I have a Concert Classic. And again, that's even smaller than a Dreadnought. Let me grab the Concert Classic, and you can compare the, lugging around. And again, these are in gig bags. These aren't even in hard cases. Lugging around a Concert Classic versus lugging around, if you could even call it that, the Hush one. Okay, let me grab that. Okay, this is in fact, we can see it over here, and this camera over here. This is the Concert Classic. So it's a little bit smaller than a Dreadnought. Not quite as big as a Dreadnought, but bigger than the Parlor guitar for sure. And a lot heavier. And if we compare this to that, oh, boy, it's hard to lift. I'm gonna move it on the back. You can see the difference between these two is just, it's enormous. So in terms of portability, you're going to look at the silent guitar. I mean, you're not getting this in an overhead compartment. You're just not. They're never taking this up in an overhead compartment. They'll almost certainly take that. And trying to stuff this into an overhead compartment with an acoustic guitar that's, you know, infinitely more fragile than a solid body guitar. So just another thing to keep in mind, you know. And this is a lot more expensive guitar. A guitar like this is around $1,000, you know, and these guitars, I want to say, are around $300, $350, something like that for the silent guitar. No, $300, I think. So, but don't hold me to it. Prices change. You know how that goes. But that'll give you a little comparison between these two for size. And just one last thing. Let me take them all out, and I'm just hold them side by side so you can compare the actual instrument side by side, because I know that the cases add a little bit of bulk. But the reality is that you're not carrying around the guitar just by itself. You are carrying it in a case. So that's why I thought having the case comparison was very important. So, all right, let's take a few of these out, and you can compare them side by side. All right, well, starting with the Concert Classic, you can see that there's an enormous difference between these two guitars. And of course, playing this guitar is going to produce a lot of sound because it's a big, giant, you know, acoustic guitar versus this guitar, you know, which is a solid body and produces, that's why they call it the silent guitar. So, forgetting just even the portability, if you're trying to be discreet, if you're trying to practice without bothering other people, you know, an acoustic guitar can only get so quiet without, you know, bothering other people and transmitting its acoustic properties, you know, to the earshot of other people. This is infinitely better in that regard. Now, if you want a big, nice acoustic sound, you're not going to get it with the silent guitar. It's not that kind of instrument. You know, this is one to be plugged in, to go through headphones, to go through, you know, something like that. I have videos on both of these guitars, especially this one is much more recent. This is a much older guitar of mine. So this is probably back from like 2018, 2019. And, you know, this is from 2023, I think, this video came out. So, you can look those up if you want to hear the sound differences between them. But the reality is they both just sound like acoustic guitars. And if you're going through headphones or you're going through any sort of recording, I don't know that you're going to notice a real difference electric, you know, recording-wise, headphone-wise, you know, anything like that. It's acoustically that's going to be the big difference. And again, we're trying to avoid that with the silent guitar. All right, let me grab the Parlor guitar, and we'll compare that side by side. That's my next smallest guitar. All right, we're back with the Parlor guitar. You know, at first I thought that maybe, you can look at it in this camera here, right here, hello. At first I thought that maybe, you know, this was a little smaller than the carbon fiber, but it's not. This is actually a tiny bit larger, just overall, than the carbon fiber. So again, this is a Parlor guitar, one of the smallest acoustics you can buy. You know, this is your Ed Sheeran sized instrument. And you can see that this just still beats it. Now, they do make wings to go on the side. You can see the hole there on the bottom, and there's 2 holes on the top there for the wings to be mounted on this. But the wings are unnecessary to playing the guitar. You could put this guitar with a strap over your shoulder and play it. The wings are completely unnecessary for the function or the sound of the guitar. It's really only if you don't have a strap and you want to rest it on your leg, you could put the bottom one in. Or if, you know, you like to rest your arm on the top, but it's really not for that. I don't know that you need to put the wings on this without, you know, to increase its sound or its playability in any way. So I'm comparing them with the wings off. No, they look good. Look at it over here. Yeah. There you are. Well, they look good. All right, let me grab that carbon fiber. That'll be the last one we sort of like compare size-wise to this. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, we're back, and as you can see, even my smallest acoustic, this adorable little carbon fiber, which is a great guitar. If you've never checked out the Donner carbon fiber guitars, these are really nice. Especially, the only thing I had to do with it was, and it's probably because of the change in temperature and humidity, I just had to crank down the truss rod a little bit, but other than that, it was spot on. As soon as I did that, wow, just really good playing guitar, really good sounding guitar too, very, very loud, very projective, which is not the objection. I mean, the objective of when you're trying to stay silent. So again, one of the problems with having any acoustic guitar is that it's not a silent guitar. But even the smallest Donner, acoustic is still much larger, much more cumbersome to take around than the little travel guitar. Just comparing them side by side, you can just see that this is just a lot easier to work with and carry around. So there you go. There is a little comparison size-wise. I regretted not covering that in the first video I did to show the portability of this. Also, as you know, it takes a battery. And if I could show it on this little camera right here. But it takes a battery back here, so you can always power headphones. If you've got a working battery in there, you don't need an acoustic amp. You don't need anything like that. You can run directly out into a set of headphones, or you can even run a line out into some sort of recording apparatus, either a mobile recorder or right into a mixer if you want. So there's a few ways you can use this, other than just strumming it acoustically. In fact, I would argue that this guitar is really not meant for that. It's really meant for practice and for being able to play in situations where it's a little difficult to carry something as large as this around. It's a travel guitar. And there you have it. Another shot of it right there. Beautiful, beautiful looking guitar. All right, dudes. Well, there you have it. The Donner silent guitar. I just wanted to give you a comparison size-wise to these other things. So something I regretted not covering in the first video. I will leave links in the description. There's sound examples in my original video of this where I do the unboxing and I go through and check out all the sounds. The black one is made of maple, so it's a very, very sturdy instrument. And there you have it. Link in the description. And there you go. All right, dudes. As always, thanks so much for hanging out. And rock on.